Mhm. All right. This is the link for this video that I'm going to share with you, Doreen and Grandmaster. I will share the link for this video, copy it and keep it. It will serve you well to remember this meeting this evening. Pleasant good evening to those of you who are in our Facebook, LinkedIn, and our social media platform. This evening, I have sitting with me Grandmaster Shuang Chong out of Botswana and our COO for the class of Steele, Ambassador Doreen Burunji. And we were having a very interesting discussion about value this evening. And I want to make a declaration about the class of Steele that I think needs to just happen openly. But before I do that, I want to ask Ambassador Doreen, you're there, Ambassador Doreen, we can't see you.
Yes, I am here, Doctor. Sorry, I'm here.
Okay, we need you. The video will see you. Ambassador Doreen, I want to ask you a very genuine question. Do you from your feedback and from your own personal experience see the class of Steele as valuable and relevant to Africa and Africans and what we're doing globally? Do you see the class of Steele as really relevant?
Oh yes, Dr. Michael Steele, it is extremely, extremely relevant. I can speak for myself. When I first came to the class of Steele, I had lost hope completely. I was at the bottom. But when I came to the class of Steele, I started to feel that there is something more to this class of Steele that I can live for. And I kept coming to the class of Steele, and my life completely changed because I was at the bottom. Honestly, I did not know, I didn't have a direction in my life at that time. And the class of Steele, the mentor, gave me direction and hope that whatever circumstance I was going through, it was going to be okay. Everything will be fine. And I kept on attending and having mentorship classes with the mentor, Dr. Michael Steele, and I came out of it. I honestly came out of it, and I'm in another place now. And he allowed me to allow the process to let the process, to accept the process, whatever I was going through. I should just accept it, and before I know it, I'll be out of it. So if I wasn't in the class of Steele at that time, I do not know whether I would have overcome the challenge I had at that time. So the class of Steele is relevant. If you have lost hope, if you have lost, recently we had start over. If no one is there to speak to you that you can actually do it again. The class of Steele has given many people opportunity like me that you can actually do it again. It can be your career, it can be your marriage, it can be your business, it can be your family. You just, there's a way things begin to change in your life and you get your life back on track. So this is what the class still has done for me. And then the personality that I had then is not what I have today. My personality is completely different. And I know the very important principles of life that probably personally I did not take them as seriously, though they were in my life, but they are globally relevant to what we do everyday life. like integrity, and like allowing the process, like um, uh, relating with people of across the continent and the world, and being able to stand on your own, to defend yourself, to speak boldly about what you want, or what is on your mind. And then of course you encouraging other people who are like me, who are like me, who have lost hope, who no one was there for them when they were at their bottom. So the class of still not being there anymore, many of us will get lost, because life is it's a continuous learning, continuous challenges. You need everyone needs someone to speak into their lives. And this is a person who has love, who Dr. Michael Steele is so passionate about the class of Steele, not just the class of Steele, but individual lives. How are you doing? How are you progressing? How are you bringing change in your area, in your country, in the things that you do? Positive change, impact. So for me, I remember my staff told me, Doreen, you have greatly improved. You're doing so well. I think the class of Steele has done you so very well. And I said, really, you can see it? They said, yes. So they encouraged me that I should continue to come. And they were also looking forward to joining the class of Steele. But of course, with all these lockdowns in the country, curfew and all that, it had not been possible. But Africa is waiting for the class of Steele. Numbers will continue to grow. It's just a matter of time. The class of Steele will reach will touch so many people's lives positively, and we will live on. Yeah, that's it.
Doreen, we don't share a lot of stuff. You know me as a very private person, and I just decided to do this spur of the moment. We just had class, we just finished class, and we had 20 something persons, I think, in class, etc. But Doreen, you being our CEO or know things that other people don't know and we don't discuss, but without calling names or discussing things, I think we should let people know that there were people who were suicidal. There are people who wanted to commit suicide, and they called me, and there
Exactly.
was a lady at 3 a.m. and they were dying. People with
Exactly.
relationship problems, and they didn't have money, and they
Exactly.
called us, and me and you, from whatever money we could find, we had to help people without. There's no donations, there's no subscription. I don't have a donation page. I don't have a subscription page. Nobody gives us money. Nobody, but yet we still have to help people. Doreen, how has that been for you as the CEO of the class of Steel, without any monies, but yet we still have to help people? It is out of our own selves. How has that been for you, being there and knowing our responsibility that nobody knows about the people that we help?
Well, doctor, for sure, I want to say, if the class of Steel was not there, some people would be 6 foot under, really, if the class of Steel was not there. If people like Jenny Steele, myself, and other members of the class of Steel were not in the class of Steel at that time, we're going to lose some members in the class of Steel. But being there for one another, we were able to save lives. Were able to give the little resources that we had to rescue those individuals, honestly. And we were just rescuing without knowing the depth of the problem. And when we came to know about it, say, wow, where would this person actually go if this team of Class of Steel were not there? And today these people have a second chance to live, a second chance to dream again. like second chance to be happy. And they are grateful for the class of Steele. They are grateful for anyone who invited them to the class of Steele. So I myself, I am so very much grateful to the class of Steele.
We have in the class Grandmaster. He's in Botswana. He's a personal friend of mine. When he heard that I was going to do the part with the class of Steel with the youth section, he jumped on the bandwagon and says, "I'm in that. I am in that. I want to help." I told him it's free. There's no charge. There's no monies involved in it because I want to give back to the people of Africa. And he was, Grandmaster Scott, you were all over that. You were like suited and booted and signed me up. Grandmaster, how has the class of Steel in your assessment made a difference in your personal assessment? What have you seen the class of Steel doing for a lot of the African youth that you have met and you're now in relationship with as a result of the class of Steel?
Thank you, Excellency, for the opportunity to speak on this. I have seen people grow. I've seen people come from nothingness into somethingness. I've seen people have a different perspective and a different outlook on life. And I've seen the class of Steel youth being able to give people hope in a world where it seems hopeless. And just let me, and it all comes through the free, unconditional dissemination of information. And that in itself, having that information is so important, because if you don't know, you don't know. And coming from the US, now living here in the mother country, I know for a fact that infrastructures, politically, religiously, sometimes will speak a good game and say this is free fall. The opportunity is here. You can do anything and be anything that you want to be. But behind the scenes, for whatever reason, the process and the procedure is not like that. And so we find ourselves not only in America, not only in the diaspora with Black people throughout, but especially here in the motherland. There's so much disinformation out there in the world, whether it's social media, whether it's on the news, whether it's news media, journalism, whatever the case may be, all designed to keep you blinded, to keep you unaware, to keep you off balance. And the beauty of the class of Steel is that the mentors that we have are well educated, well versed, well traveled. So we're able to bring into the country to these young people, these people who are going to be leaders and future leaders of the country and the continent. We're able to bring to them real-time, real-world information to improve their situation, improve their plights, and to bring stuff to them that normally they would be left out of the loop from. And that is more important than anything. It doesn't make, no, we're not here turning a profit. Yes, this is a nonprofit organization. No, we don't have donation pages and for just 3 cents a day, you can help little Bijou in this country. And we're not about that. We're not about that. We're here to give real-time information, to here to mentor people, to give people hope in a hopeless world, and to allow that information, Your Excellencies, to help and uplift these people, and to show them that it's a bigger world, and most importantly, to show them that, hey, there's a lot of information out there that was not given to you on purpose. It was not given to you on purpose. And guess what? We're here to make sure you have that information so that you are armed, so that you are ready, so that you as a young person can affect change in your particular country, so that you as a young person can affect change on the continent, so that you as a young person can now become a world traveler, a world citizen, a world leader with the information that has been given to you that you have been locked out of for so long. For so long, you feel hopeless. You feel hands tied. You feel, I'll never go anywhere with this. This class is all about hope. This class is all about leadership. It's about you. And it makes no difference sometimes how crazy the message might get. It becomes crazy to people who aren't passionate, Your Excellency. It becomes different to people who don't see that vision, who don't see where we're trying to go with this. But the people who are part of this, whether it's young or old, they appreciate it. They love us. They love the class for being able to bring the information to them. And just the joy of seeing us able to change the lives of people in a positive way and give hope to people and educate them on things they didn't know and help them to do whatever and reach goals and heights in their lives. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Thank you so very much for your thoughts and for sharing. And there's a reason why I decided to do this video this evening. There's a reason. And I never am going to do a video like this again. I will not do a video like this again. As a matter of fact, I didn't even want to be doing this particular video because it's not one of the things that I do. But there are a number of ladies and they have children and they were suicidal and we had to step in and help them without anybody supporting, and I had to wrestle and try to figure out how can we help these persons. And there are a number of young persons who are disabled in Sierra Leone that I help personally, and I get overwhelmed mentally and emotionally as a mentor and as a person, and everybody's asking me, who supports you? Who funds you? Nobody supports the class of Steele. I'm going to keep it real and tell you the truth. Doreen Barunji is our COO. She's here. My wife is here with me, but nobody supports us. Nobody funds us. Nobody donates to us because I have not been begging for funding. I've not been begging for donations. I'm just doing this. But the burden of this is becoming greater than I can handle. I have some individuals who are becoming homeless. They're becoming homeless and they just come to the class of Steele and they smile quietly. But Doreen and myself is aware of these persons becoming homeless. And I can't pay everybody's bills and mine. But the reason why this broadcast is being done today, specifically is yesterday. Yesterday, I got pulled over the coals by the government of the United Kingdom, by the British government. I got pulled over the coals yesterday to a point where I sat in a meeting and tears ran out of my eyes. I cried in front of a young woman inside of a government office because I was looked at like a fool, like an idiot for having a registered company, and I'm not making any money. Nobody's paying. You're not making any money. This is useless. Why are you doing this? What is this all about? Your return? Why didn't you do any research and everything? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm a humanitarian. I care about people. And if you know the amount of times I wanted to stop this class of Steele because nobody pays any money. Nobody supports this. But when you hear of people who want to die and people who are calling you privately and saying thank you, when you look and see that there are over over 40 ambassadors that we have got appointed to the United Nations. None of them today, none of them come and support the class of Steele. None of them endorse, support me. None of them. And I'm walking around broken because of other people who are suffering, and the only hope they have is myself in the class of Steele as Grandmaster and Doreen, Minister Ewers and Bishop Comfort, and those that are Dr. Anita Davis Defoe, that are pushing behind the scenes to try to keep people afloat. So this is what I'm going to do. I will never do a video like this again. And you're not going to see a donation button on my website. You will not see it because I have a registered company. It's not a charity. I'm going to ask you, whoever you are that is seeing this video, I really don't even need to know you. And don't call me and ask me how much or what. Don't ask me anything. Don't ask me nothing. Don't even call me. This is what I'm going to say to you. If you think, we have over 100+ videos on YouTube of what I do, what we do to help others. All of it has been free. All of it is free. Nobody pays us anything. No sponsors. If you think that what I'm doing is worthy of support and help, I'm going to ask you to send a brief email to myself that says, Dr. Steele, I want to help you. How can I donate to the class of Steele? Just send me an email. I'm not sending my bank details out there like I'm a beggar. Just says, Dr. Steele, where can I send a donation to? So I know that it is you that is doing it. I'm not asking nobody to pick up any donations on my behalf or nothing. Not asking anybody. And you don't have to ask me about what I do or if I do what I do, because clearly we are doing it. But it is becoming overwhelming and painful and embarrassing. And I can't walk around feeling embarrassed on one side because people see people passing through the class of Steele, but they don't realize that we are doing a whole lot more behind the scenes for others that nobody sees. But nothing from nothing is nothing. And if I try to, you know what came out of that meeting with the government official said to me? If you keep trying to help people when you're not getting anything, you'll burn out. And truth be told, I am tired and I am overwhelmed. And when I get all those text messages and those pleading for help, and I can't help, and I call Her Excellency Doreen and Beyond the Sky Tours and Travels that help so much. You Beyond the Sky Tours and Travel helps so much people. But we can't tell people that because we're not a charity. So if you want to help us, you've got Grandmaster there. He's in Botswana dealing with those persons who are going through domestic abuse. He's working with all those kids on our behalf in Botswana and bringing other individuals that are struggling and going through difficulties with their own struggles in Africa with their education, and he brings them to us. Doreen is in Uganda and she's in DRC. We're helping. We're not begging. You don't see us begging for anything. But this is the first and the only video that I'm going to beg. Please help us. I'm Michael Steele and I'm in the United Kingdom. Please help us. I have an account in Sierra Leone. I have an account in Nigeria. We have in Botswana. We have in Uganda. Please help us. You want to know how to help us? I'm not a secret agent. You can go on our website, theclassofsteele.com. Send us a private message. How can I help? If you're interested. But I'm not putting any bank details or nothing in here. None of that. I'm just going to talk to you. Doreen, do you think that this is a fitting message now? Because We have enough troubles. What do you think, Doreen?
Yes, doctor, it's a fitting message. It is. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, it is a fitting message.
Grandmaster, what do you think? Is it a fitting message at this time?
Definitely. To me, it's overdue. Definitely a fitting message, a relevant message. Make it happen. Make it happen.
Look, listen carefully. One of the reasons why I never went for raising funds and donations on a site is because so many times people give money and they don't do what they say they're gonna do. And I don't ever want to be trapped in somebody saying, oh, we gave you money, you didn't do this and you didn't do that. So I just don't take money. I just don't ask for money. But I'm doing so much and I'm overwhelmed. And Doreen is doing so much and she's quiet. She's just like me. Doreen, I know you're overwhelmed as well. And our Master Scott is doing so much and we're overwhelmed. Doreen, I know you might think that I don't answer some of my messages from some people that are crying, but Doreen, I am. Trust me, I'm kicking dust behind the scenes trying to make sure that some persons don't get kicked out of their houses and
Exactly.
And I guess you know that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I will say this. I will say this to our African brothers. I will say this. If you got kids, you don't look after your kids and the mother of your children, don't be proud to call yourself nothing. Don't be proud. Don't be proud to call yourself a minister. Don't be proud to call yourself a reverend, a pastor, a leader. Don't be proud. Don't be proud. You are shame and the scum of the earth. If you have children and you don't look after your children, and the mother of those children have to beg total strangers to look after those children, you're ashamed. I am ashamed of you. We as a civilization, as a people are ashamed of you. Because you cause people who sometimes are even finding it difficult to manage their own responsibilities sometimes. But because of their humanity, they're trying to keep your family, your seed alive. I'm ashamed of you. If you're watching this video, I'm ashamed of you. And to all those mothers out there that you feel like giving up, listen to me. Listen. Listen to us. Don't give up. Don't give up. It's a lot of tears. It's a lot of pain. It's hard. But the truth of the matter is you're going to be okay. You are going to be okay. You are. Say it to yourself. Convince you're going to be fine. And to those governments and to those charitable organizations that are doing so well to feed so many, I applaud you. And I encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop. Because you might not get the public praise and the public awards, but I can assure you that one mother or that one father that didn't give up, because of you, it was worth it. Dr. Michael Steele, thank you so very much for listening. I will never make one of these videos. So as if you see this one, you'll never see another one like it. Because I will never do another video like this again, appealing for any kind of financial support. But right now, I'm asking you for your financial support. And if you want to financially support the class of Steele and what I'm doing globally around Africa, don't ask me how much and what I'm doing and all that. I don't really want to talk. Don't want to go into discussions. just saying your help. And leave it up, leave it. Just watch us. We're not Secret Service. Whatever we do is going to be very public. You'll see. Thank you so very much for helping, to those of you who will help. Sharing this message for those of you who will share it. And for having a heart for those of you who look at us and individuals that are poor, not black, white, red, green, pink. No, it's not color. So many persons of different colors that are struggling. It's not a color thing. This is a humanitarian thing for people who need help and support. Thank you so very much. I'll never do this again. I promise. By the grace of God, I don't want to do this again. God bless you and look after yourselves. Dr. Doreen, say your last word before I close this video, because this one is going down in history.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Dr. Michael Steele, for conveying that message to the public. And for sure, the class of Steele needs help. Support we'll appreciate it, and may God reach people's lives as we and the rest of the world. Thank you so much and have a good night.
Grandmaster Shua, your final words.
Yes, sir. Thank you again for doing what you've done. Ambassador Doreen, she summed it up perfectly. It is what it is. And you know, if you want to attach something to it, by all means, our work will speak for itself, period. Don't have to go any further than that. The work will speak for itself. Like I always say, just hold on and watch our smoke. Hold on and watch our smoke, because where smoke is fire, and that fire is going to be us changing the lives and making a difference in people's lives. The show gonna go on whether you donate or not. That's the thing. And people need to understand that. The show will go on, go forward, whether you donate or not, whether you give or not, because this is bigger than money. This is bigger than your money. It's bigger than us as individuals. It's about making a positive difference in this world. It's about doing a humanitarian effort and being passionate about it. Watch the smoke and watch what we do. That's all I have to say, though.
I will end with what he says. If you help or not, we're going to keep doing what we do, because I don't do this for money. I do this for humanity and from heart. I love you guys and I appreciate you. All those who support us, either share this message or support, whatever you do. And this is going to be on our website, theclassofsteele.com, and you can reach out to us there. If you want to help, just tell us I would like to help, and we'll appreciate it. Bye-bye, guys. See you in the next class.
Okay.
Bye, Doreen.
Good night. Bye-bye.